Well, this is the 180 seconds too late, the SSA Rocket League podcast. Welcome to it. I, as always, am Greybeard, and hello to everybody that's here. Yoshi, as always, reporting early for duty. Zephyr Guy, Muckers, Jordan, Epidex, Tubbsy, how's it, guys? And Vox, Ender, Ark is here as well. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Okay, so this is going to be a relatively short episode. First up, I guess, news about me is that starting on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, I'm going to be having a stream. For those who don't know, on my birthday, which is on the 6th of January, I'm starting 2 one-year challenges. The first is to do with my own physical health and fitness, and eating right and losing a bunch of weight. And then combined with that is I'm doing a complete Rocket League reset. I've got Beastbound as my coach, and he's going to be doing an assessment with me on Wednesday, which I'll have live on stream. And then it is going to be a very regular stream of stripping down everything Rocket League for myself to the basics, and grinding and relearning all the basics of car control, ground control, ball control, and that's going to go on for a year. So that kind of it only gets underway on the 6th of January, but the assessment stream with the coach will be on Wednesday. How's it, Max? Good to see you. And of course, Aaron is here as well. All right, so that's on the personal news front, and now let's get to let's get to other news. I guess the big news that everyone's been talking about since last Friday, the tweet that arrived on Friday afternoon, I think it was for us, and it was this tweet. Rocket League Esports, we're still cooking on the RLCS announcement blog for 2024, but we'd like to share some critical info so you can plan accordingly. The minimum age to compete in the RLCS will now be 13 years old. We're aiming to open registration early next year. The RLCS 2024 season will start in late January. More details to come, so stay tuned. So that sent everybody into a little bit of a tizzy and a frenzy. And so there's a lot of talk, discussion, speculation, hype, concern, worry, whatever about RLCS 2024. So this is what we're going to do. The last segment of this stream is I'm going to take your predictions, not team predictions. So I'm not looking for which team's going to go to Worlds or win majors or anything. Nothing to do with teams. Your RLCS 2024 predictions. Format, how long it'll be, how many splits, SSA, do we get majors, do we not, do we get a broadcast, anything to do with the with RLCS 2024. You give me your predictions. I'm going to write them down and keep a track of them. Once the announcement is made, I will stream that, and we'll see who knows who knew what was what about what RLCS 2024 is going to look like. So that'll be the last segment. All right. So now we're going to talk about the Owned series. Owned is a French-based esports org. They put on a tournament, a $300 prize pool tournament over the weekend. It was a bit of a scramble because a lot of people who would ordinarily cast, like myself and others, were sort of unavailable, were committed to. It's a weird time of year for availability of people, but Maxpresso and Aaron stepped in, as well as Shens, to produce the thing, and overall it went very, very well. So we're going to look at some of the results there, the teams that played, how that all came to pass. So I'm going to bring in, so the two people casting who covered the whole thing are Maxpresso and Aaron. So I'm going to bring them in. Oh, where did they go? Where did they go? Oh, they're there. Hello.
Hello.
And Maxpresso's at a friend's house on a dodgy laptop and even dodgier lighting, but he's here to talk about it. So gentlemen, starting with you, Maxpresso, your overall impressions of the tournament. I was worried early on because the signups weren't great, but I think in the end about 24 or so teams signed up.
Yeah, I believe so. It was pretty cool because I believe there were 4 pools, each with 6 teams. So a lot of teams actually got a nice shot. I mean, I even with my team Xenon got to have a little shot at playing, and it was a lot of fun, I must say. We didn't really know what to go and expecting it the whole time. Towards the tournament, we were eyeing who signed up. I believe the first 3 teams to sign up were Bonjour and 2 other teams with a bunch of pros. So good on them for signing up early, and it was a bit intimidating signing up afterwards. But yeah, no, it was cool.
All right, good. And then Aaron, I think this was your first outing casting some SSA. I mean, you did a bit of RSC, and then obviously you've done RSC in EU. But seeing some of the pro teams out there, how was the experience for you?
I mean, it was a first of, I mean, casting in general pros, and it was a very nice impression. I mean, I love the SSA team. Obviously, I've done some RSC SSA. I loved it from the start there. So, well, and then eventually I did this tournament. I didn't expect those teams to be in there. Did a little research beforehand and was a little shocked. And well, I got the signs that I wanted to. So
very good, very good. All right,
Loved
cool. So the format was, as you mentioned, Mac, was four groups of 6, and it was a Swiss stage, and that went into, if I'm not mistaken, an 16 team bracket, right, Mac?
Yeah. So it was all best of 5s as well in the playoffs. So you play each member of each person in your pool once, and yeah, just try and get the best goal difference you can. And yeah, going into round 1 was the seconds versus the thirds of each group, and if you finish top of your group, then straight through to the quarterfinal.
All right, cool. Well, let's have a look at the bracket, because we're pretty much going to pick things up from the quarterfinals, the final 8. So if we have a look at there was the bracket, and I know before we went live on stream, Aaron, you were talking about there's a team that's not there, Mills Exponet, Mills Esport, Mills, something about them. You wanted to talk about them.
Oh yeah, I actually wanted to talk about them a lot. I mean, that was the first series I've done, and well, the players on there were NDY, Lucifer, Morningstar, Spiker, and Mumu's, and I think actually Mumu's, Lucifer, and NDY played, so they played with a sub. And well, they played against Bonsoir in round 1, and they unfortunately got reverse swept there, but they won 2 rounds against, well, pros, and that was a good first impression for them. Cyrix and Ubertech obviously being on Luper Russo's side last split in last RLCS, and well, now the other side, Mills Expernet, almost beating them is very, very good, I would say.
Okay, good. So definitely potential for the start of next season. If I mean, I don't know if they're a confirmed roster for RLCS, or if they were kind of pick up for this, or I don't know what the situation is. I don't know if you know anything about that, if they're going to go into RLCS with this roster.
No idea.
No.
Okay.
No idea.
No, fair enough. All right. Well, let's get back to that bracket. So there we go. Quarterfinals: Bonjour, WRN, Bouge. A lot of French names here by teams that don't have a lot of French people on it. So that seems to be the trend these days. Bouge or Bouge, Exhaust Esports, Alt F4, Bonsoir, GG's, who win the award for the best logo, and Rising Ballers.
Hey.
So
the first of the quarterfinals was Bonjour WRN. I don't know which one of you wants to pick up on that one.
So WRN were a team with Willant, Revi, and Nitro. Obviously Nitro, we've seen bits and pieces of him there for RLCS. And also these guys are all incredibly young. I believe Willant and Ravi are both 13. So in sort of theme with RLCS lowering that age limit, it's important to be looking at these guys. Sure, they had a really good round 1 against Peak Star Snipers. It really showed off what they can do. And then against Bonjour, they played the first match with Breezy, and it was a tough first game, but they were looking quite confident, quite good. It's always good to see these young guys coming in against pros and just using their mechs and really sending it at them. And they actually took game 2. And the main thing for me was, sure, Bonjour did look a bit awkward at times, and that proved quite lethal going into the semi-finals against Bouge. But I thought WRN did very well. Taking that second game, they looked very in control. They were limiting the Bonjour offense, something that's very scary to look at. I mean, Wheeler Cams, and I believe Guns' name on the day was Le Guns, so definitely taking advantage of that French buff. But yeah, I really liked what I saw from WR, and they played some good Rocket League against arguably the second best team in the country. So I look forward to seeing those names in RLCS hopefully, and definitely want to see more from them.
Well, I don't know how old Willant is. Ravi obviously is 13. He's one of the players in the mix with the new regulations. He's going to be allowed to play. Willant, I know he's young, but I don't know if he's 14, 15, 13.
I think around 13, 14, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so definitely names to be looking out for. All right, then semi-final. I beg your pardon. Quarterfinal number 2, Bouge and Exhaust Esports, and Bouge was Duckler's Tristan Lackstar. And worth noting there, I see Lackstar rocking the White Rabbit Gaming logo there, but I don't know that I don't think he's on that team anymore. And then Exhaust was Karma, Zentox, and Iron Migon.
That match, didn't really get to see anything of it because it wasn't streamed, obviously. But what I can see of the players here is Karma obviously also showed up in RLCS, and well, I'm pretty sure he's trying out with that team. So Zentox and Iron Migon there. Aren't really named.
Yeah, my feeling is Karma, I think, is going to need I think a better team. Zentox and Iron Migon, nothing against them, but I think Karma might need a stronger second and third to go into RLCS.
I would agree with you there. I mean, or he just went in there for fun. I'm not sure, but he didn't get really far. Obviously, getting swept by Bouge there with consisting of 3 really, really good players, and obviously they ended up in the finals. So, well, it's obviously it was expected for them to lose in that round with a sweep there.
All right,
Nothing more I can say.
Well, speaking of sweeps, our quarterfinal number 3, Alt F4 and Bonsoir, another French name, but all French players, so that makes a lot of sense. So we got So we have hello. What is Bonsoir, by the way? I was going to say it's goodbye, but it's not. What is Bonsoir?
I believe it's good evening or
good evening.
Night.
Okay.
One of the two.
Translate. So let me see. It's good evening.
Good evening. Okay. So Alt F4 and Bonsoir. So yeah, Cyrex, Ubertech, names we've heard. Eagles new to me, but then some stalwarts of the local scene. Werty, Snoozy, Ram, and of course they won or they came second, third or fourth in the Rumble. So word is that they might be sticking together as a roster, Mac.
I really hope so, because we saw them have been the Rumble, and I think they got knocked out by Bonjour, if I'm not mistaken. And they are a team with a lot of potential. Obviously, Werty is the big name on that roster, having gone to Worlds. But Snoozy and Ram, I think, are also exceptional players. Ram, obviously, on a team with Sweaty before, and he looked really good. So it's cool to see that team. I was surprised by the result because Bonsoir, I thought, were looking pretty good, and they're definitely up there in sort of that pro level.
Okay.
I think they definitely have the potential, but maybe like that sort of 12th to 16th place team in RLCS. If they keep working it, then who knows? But yeah, Alt F4 were a tough team to go against, to be fair to them. Unfortunately, none of the teams coming from the round ones beat the teams that were waiting for them in the quarterfinals.
Okay.
But Alt F4, if you watch their next semi-finals and how they performed in the grand finals, then you can honestly give credit to Bonsoir, because I'm just checking the score here: 4-1, 3-0, and then 3-2. So it's a sweep, but ultimately I think they played quite well for a team that was on fire on the day.
All right, and then the continuing the trend of the sweeps, GGs and Rising Ballers, Dreezy, Zeno, and TK. Those for me are names that are still coming up in the scene. A little way to go, but filled with potential there. And if we look on the other side, Galaxy's been around since he was about 12. I mean, I remember him from 4 or 5 years ago when he was a sort of around Sethi age and playing Rocket League. Zany, sort of new name on the scene, but looking pretty good. And then of course Itzy, who's out of Reunion, who's a pretty solid player. But and they did the job there quite convincingly there, the sweep.
I mean, the sweep, obviously, it was 4 overs, match 1-0 and 3-2. Rising Ballers getting a little grip there in the last game, but it wasn't there. It just wasn't there. The sweep was there from obviously a way stronger side, with 2 coaches also being on the team there, with Skytix being one of them. And well, Rising Ballers, Dreezy, Zeno, TK, I don't really know much about them, but if you go up against a quite well-known name Galaxy, obviously you're about to be swept.
Fair enough. And as I said, they had the best logo in the tournament. I thought I quite like the colorful logo appeals to me. All right, then moving on to the semi-finals, the last four: Bonjour and Bouge. Another sweep, and Mac. This has got to be a massive upset.
Oh, 100%. I can selfishly admit that I thought Bonjour were guaranteed in that grand final, and with no Spain in the picture, I thought this was going to be a sort of easy win for them. But I was really surprised by Bouge. I mean, I did mention how in that quarterfinal, Bonjour were looking a bit awkward against WRN at times, even dropping that game too. But they have that individual skill and level of each of the players to sort of regain and be able to win out games like the WRN game. But
Yeah.
Bouge, they were just matching them so well in terms of offense. Like it felt like it was Bonjour trying their best to link up some passes, get some mechanical plays like they usually do to get goals. But Bouge were just more than happy to sit back, try and defend it, and then their counter attacks. I mean, they were just so lethal, and it was pretty close. I mean, two OTs, and I do remember them both being quite intense between these two teams. But yeah, a sweep is very surprising, but I think the score does give it a bit of credit of the whole story there. But yeah, very, very surprising that that Bouge just came out on top there, and I think just credit to them, because in the grand final they're looking more like they were going to continue that, but unfortunately Alt F4 just looked a little bit better.
And then I have a question about I don't know how much of the Rumble you saw, Mac. But one of the pickup teams there was I'm trying to remember now. White Rabbit Gaming. They had a very disappointing run there, and kind of didn't quite work out. Did surprisingly poorly. But I see now Lackstar doing very well. It seemed like something wasn't gelling there, but good to see Lackstar with Tristan and Douglas and looking pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I was making this little list of all the sort of new rosters, mainly after watching the Oxygen Invitational in NA. Because I was just sort of curious of who our own rosters are at the moment and who's sort of rumored. And when I got to this Bouge team and I wrote down Lackstar, I thought, wait, but is he still with White Rabbit? I'm not really sure, because obviously, yeah, as you mentioned in the Rumble, it was a bit disappointing to see. But it was cool seeing him come out with Tristan and Douglas. I mean, I actually had the privilege of playing against this team first in my group. Really reminded us plebs of how insane pro players can really be. I mean, Tristan at the back is so reliable, and Lackstar was gelling very well with both of his teammates, really setting them up with sort of aerials, any plays off the sidewalls, really being a menace for the other team. So if that's a roster going to next season, the fact they beat Bonjour, they could definitely do it again, from what I saw. So yeah, I really hope that, and I hope for Lackstar's sake that this is the roster that he hopefully goes with and can really shine on it.
All right. Well, breaking the trend of sweeps was the second semi-final, Alt F4 up against GG's. And for me, Aaron, an expected result there, but I'm pleased that GG's Galaxy Zany Heatsy took a game off them.
Oh yeah, indeed. I mean, Alt F4 were obviously the winners here. Worthy, incredible performance in the finals, but we're not at the finals yet here. We're at the semi-finals here. But I want to give a huge props to GG's as well, winning that third game there. Racking up some hope there to make it 2-1 in the series, but I don't know how the French guys interpreted that, but I think looking at the scores here and looking back at the replays, I think it was a very deserved score. Alt F4 were very strong that game, but GG's were obviously very strong as well, but I think something just lacked was experience for the GG side.
Yeah, well, and look, they did incredibly well taking that one game, but then also taking two others to overtime. That 7-second overtime must have been disappointing. Those are the absolute worst, where it's you won the overtime and then you give it away early. But so good performance from GG's, but it was Alt F4 that went through to the grand final, and there we go, our first and only best of 7 of the tournament. And it looks like everyone got their money's worth there. That 4-2 to Alt F4.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, we were going to that final really. I was really feeling bouge. I was thinking, yeah, they've just knocked out Bonjour. They're probably brimming with confidence, and they really showed that in the first two games. I mean, Aaron and I were both sort of saying like, oh yeah, they're still looking good, but I do remember in the second game, it was very intense in that overtime, and it was just one slip up by Ram. He was alone with the ball bouncing in front of him, and he just drove under it, and immediately was pounced on by Laxter. Yeah, so that second game felt very odd because it felt like it was Alt F4's to win to sort of tie up the series, but then it was such a weird goal to concede. But then after that, I don't know, they just took a breath, and yeah, they really came out swinging for the rest of it.
Oh, they certainly did. I mean, you go down 2 games, it's not looking great, but man, they didn't lose after that. It seemed to get better and better for them. I mean, the third game was at 1 minute 23 overtime, which is fairly intense. And that could have gone, I mean, they could just as easily have been 3-0 down, but winning that overtime, they then seemed to cruise all the way to the end.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, watching sort of Alt F4 in the first couple games, it was mainly, I think, Ram going forward, trying to get like demos, you know, the usual Ram style that we've come to expect from him. And it was looking like what you'd expect from that team, sort of Werty trying to fill in the second man here and there. But they really made a change after those first 2 games, despite how close the second one was. And that was just sort of Werty taking control offensively and really opening up a lot of space. And Ram actually opted to go a little further back, I'd say, play a bit more defensive for his teammates. And just that change alone, I mean, it was still so close in every single match. I mean, even towards the end when Alt F4 then went up 3-2 in the series, for the 6th game, we were thinking, surely this goes to a game 7. It's rumored, it's written on the walls. We've had the overtimes to match it up, but yeah, Alt F4 really just after that second game, they looked like they had a fire lit under them, and it's exciting to see because obviously that's hopefully a team that's confirmed for RLCS. I mean, after the regional rumble, it was sort of thinking, oh, is this just a pickup, or are they trying some things out? But it was cool to see them come into another tournament with the same roster and really kick butt.
Yeah, and I do think that they were sort of more of a pickup for the Rumble. Because at that time when I was speaking to the guys, it was kind of like, yeah, we're seeing what happens, we're still looking, we're kind of chill. But the fact that they came to this series, especially after the announcement of RLCS being confirmed for January, I think now people are getting serious about thinking of their rosters and so on. So I don't think it's locked down by any means, but I think it's certainly more likely than it was after the Rumble. So great to see that performance. And then Aaron Werty was MVP for the grand final. Would you agree with that assessment?
I mean, I would agree with that fully, and I would argue about it for at least 10 hours if someone would have argued with me about that, because he played phenomenal in that last game. Obviously, bouncing back from a 2-0, was 2-0 down in the series, and well, he bounced back pretty well there. And obviously, like Maxpresso talked about, that moment where Laxter just skimmed under the ball, that was a huge turning point for Alt F4 to went back, and well, Werty was the one to score that one, and well, he started the trend of it, and well, I got the sign of him, so he's my favorite SSA player now, is he?
Okay. Well, brilliant stuff. So GG's to them. I mean, really well played. And yeah, that's going to be our last tournament in anger before RLCS gets underway, I think, depending on how that goes. But yeah, great series. And again, props to Own for putting it on. Hopefully hopefully they will do more, and hopefully they will throw extra into the budget to pay the talent, the broadcasters and the casters and so on. That was the only downside of it all. But other than that, great tournament, and shout out to Skytex and the guys in Reunion who pretty much took the lead in terms of planning it and organizing and making sure it happened. And Maxpresso and Aaron, thanks to you guys for it was a scramble. We were struggling for casters, and so big shout out to both of you for taking it up and making sure it happened. So thanks for being there.
Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure doing it, and that I'll say that's why I got eliminated on day 1. I knew they needed me for the casting on day 2.
All right, great. Well, there you go, Maxpresso. Aaron, thank you very much for coming along and bringing the wrap of the OWN series. And thanks again to you, and peace. All right, so we're gonna get back now to the last segment for today, which is predictions. RLCS 2024 predictions. I'm going to write your name and what your prediction is. So you're at your leisure, and I'll take it up. First come, first serve in chat. What are your predictions for RLCS in 2024? Not in terms of teams. I'm not looking for who's going to win it and who might be rosters, all of that jazz. We'll cover that in great detail in due course. But let's start with format. Who's got now? This is where we need chat to get involved, because otherwise this is going to be a very short part of the stream. First prediction: the RLCS going to be interesting. I don't. Casters not going to expect what's going to happen and what's currently cooking. That is so vague. What are you even saying, Daps? So Daps didn't say much. Not much. Okay, so Jordan is the first one to say the obvious, which is okay. SSA major spot. That's your prediction. 24 player lands with SSA getting 1 or 2. Okay, that's too vague. Velocity, you got to give a very specific prediction. I'll put you down there. Velocity Neonics reckons 24 team. What did you say? 24 team lands. Same as last year. They trolling with that tweet. When you say same as last year, what, Aaron? What specifically will be the same? How's it, Acid? Fully online with no audience. Oh my word, that is a huge one. So you're saying no lands? So it's going to be like RLCS X. Is that what you're saying, Acid? Okay, so there we go. Now we got a prediction from Daps. And that prediction is no SSA major. Woo! That's a huge one. Going to make a lot of people upset. We are getting 24 player LAN, 6 NA, 6 EU, 2 MENA, 2 SSA, 3 SAM, 3 OCE, 2 APAC qualifying. Okay, you know what? That's too much I'm literally going to just cut and paste that out of chat. So there you go. I've literally cut and pasted out of chat. So that's Velocity's prediction. That's the most bold and the most specific prediction we've had so far. It will be the same format as Gamers 8. What do you mean, Lemons? Do you mean like crew battle? 3s, 2s, 1s? Is that what you mean? French cast. Okay, Skytix is living his fantasy life, and I'm here for it. French broadcast. Okay. Acid.com reckons all online. DAP says no SSA major. Velocity Neonics is very specific prediction. We are getting 24 player LAN, 6 NA, 6 EU, 2 MENA, 2 SSA, 3 SAM, 3 OCE, 2 APAC qualifying teams. Okay. Whew. That was a lot. And then Skytix reckons a French broadcast. So that's as far as we've gotten. So our next one then is what? SSA not getting a major spot with current state Epic Games is in. Okay, so Daps is just further elaborating on his prediction. EU domination. Okay, well, we're not doing teams or actual play predictions. The day 1, 2, 3 format. So, Aaron, are you saying like they did last year?
Exactly.
Oh, he's still in the chat.
Yeah.
So, here's my question then. How many splits?
Three.
3 splits.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Epic Games is broke this year. And let's be fair.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. No major, no stream. Okay, so, oh my word. We're bringing out all the positive vibes. So Max Ninja reckons. So Skytix is very optimistic for the French broadcast. But Max Ninja says no broadcast. Okay. Well, there we go. Velocity again now. Velocity pumping with the predictions here. He reckons 2 splits. Velocity Neonics. 2 splits. Okay. That's the prediction. Next up. It is confirmed. Okay. Velocity trusting his sources. How's it, Ruster? Have I missed any? No, I haven't missed any. Any other predictions? No Rocket League, only Fortnite racing minigame. So RLCS will be, so it'll be the RRCS, Rocket Racing Championship Series. Why do you take it? Now you have to explain yourself, Daps. Why do you take it back? Hey, Noob Slice! Noob Slice, have you got inside information for us, bro? We're doing predictions. What's your prediction for next year? SSA, one major spot. Okay, I'm putting that down for Noob Slice. One SSA major spot. Okay. Because firstly, Beastbound said we'll for sure have a spot. And as a coach for a big team, he probably gets information other people don't. And apparently on Lawler's video, he confirmed it. Hence, I'm changing to one spot for major. Okay, fine. 4 splits, Jordan. Jordan's on a split. Never mind a split. I'm not even gonna write that down. Beastbound. There you go. That Daps. You've just been undone by your source. Beastbound is in the chat. He's like, huh? What are you talking about? I don't know anything. All right. Any other serious predictions? Because once the announcement is made, I'm gonna stream again and we're gonna go through all of these predictions. And then we'll get it. We'll see Velocity. Because Velocity Neonix talks like he's investigated the shit. He knows what's what. So we'll see. We'll see who knows what's what. Daps, I would imagine so, just by what some orgs have said and the fact that there are big orgs locking down rosters, and they wouldn't do that without knowing what's coming. So I agree with you there. Well, we're predicting what RLCS is going to look like next year. What about Worlds? When will Worlds be in August again, or will they move that out? Skytex, thank you! Was that a gifted? What was that? Gifted sub, thank you! They're going to be like nothing much changed from last year, but don't worry, there's going to be 13-year-olds. Okay, yeah. So when will Worlds be? Because they're starting late January, so they've already lost nearly 3 months compared to earlier seasons. Are they going to squish everything for August, or will we see sort of October, November Worlds? 3 spots at Worlds. Acrophobia, I'm going to write that down, but I don't buy it. 3 world spots. I don't even know what that means, but yeah, sure. They're going to copy-paste RLCS like usual because they hate our game and love to feed us neglect. All right, Breezy's feeling the positivity. 2 spots at Worlds from Breezy. Okay. Max Ninja reckons November. All righty. Worlds in November. We know it's going to be end of January, so whatever the last weekend in January is, that's when it's going to start. No spots, only wild card. So Aaron's also feeling the positivity. Only wild card for SSA at Worlds. Okay. We're waiting for the announcement of RLCS. They said RLCS is going to start in late January. So we're waiting for the announcement on what RLCS is going to, what is going to start at the end of January. Breezy spots means how many guaranteed places we would have at Worlds. Like currently NA and EU have 5, MENA has 1, OCE has 2, blah, blah, blah. Each region has a number of spots guaranteed at Worlds. Is what tonight? No, Breezy, it's sometime in January. There's going to be a blog. They're not even going to do a stream or a video. Because we're the smallest region. We're the backwater region in a tier 3 esport. That's why. You think they're going to do a video, noob? That would be good. We'll definitely watch party that. Each major divided into 2 groups. One with EU, NA, MENA, SAM, and the other with OC. Yes. Okay, I'm just going to copy paste that, Skytix. I think you're smoking something, but I will take that prediction. Well, whatever happens, when the announcement is made, I will stream as soon as possible. Hopefully it is a video that they announce. Like when they first announced the new RLCS format back in 2021, 21, 22, 22, 23, yeah. Back in 2021, it was a huge thing, and they had a stream and video. It was a whole big production. So hopefully they'll do the same, and then we can organize a watch party. Breezy, OCE have the same ranked issue as us, but slightly better. Ours is absolutely worst. Guns blue tag. Okay, well there we go. Well, we're not doing player or team predictions, so we'll leave that for another time. Well there we go. So we reckon prize pool will stay the same for SSA and APAC. You're asking the question, Daps, but are you making a prediction? Slight increase in prize pool. Okay. A bold prediction from Ashy Pager. Ashley, do you care to venture a prediction on how much that increase will be? It's currently $20,000 per regional. So it would, when you say slight increase, 10%, $22,000? Slight increase in prize pool, but Breezy says no change in prize pool. Well, let's say it is 2 splits, but the prize pool will be the same, just split over two splits rather than 3. Okay, well, let's do it another way. The total prize pool for SSA last season was 9 2s or 18, $180,000. $180,000. That was for the season. So for the whole season, will it stay the same or go up? Daps is also on the slightly optimistic side, so I'm going to put him down with. Okay, no one has said that yet. So I'm going to say here, Daps 200. Okay, what Ashy says. $210,000. Okay, let's go back to that one. 210K. Okay, got you for that, Ashy. 500 Rand. There you go. Hello, Lo-Fi. Okay, cool. Well, I think I've got a good range of predictions. No one's ventured format predictions in terms of are we going to see the usual rotating of formats through groups, Swiss, double elimination. Jordan, we do have a few people have said SSA major. Somebody even said two majors. I mean, or 2 spots. Yeah, Breezy. I think there's a lot of room for cautious pessimism. Look, here's the reality, guys. There's been no announcement. There is a non-zero chance, and I think it's a very, very low chance, but it's a non-zero chance. It's not zero. It's not like 0 chance that SSA is not even included. We might not even be involved in RLCS next season. So we got to think about that as well. But fortunately, we only have to think about it for another 3 weeks because there will be an announcement early in January, and then we're going to know, and then we can plan and go forward. Daps, I believe it'll be before the 8th of January. There'll be an announcement because they have to announce stuff they said early January. After the 8th of January is no longer early January. We're now into the middle of January. SkyTix, okay, so from 180,000 to 210. So you're the same as Ashy Pager there. If it's increased by $30,000, that's 200. So I'll put Ashy Pager / SkyTix for that one. Oh, hold on now. Okay. Wow, that's a 50% increase, SkyTix. You really are an enthusiastic mother fluffer. 30K per regional prize pool. Whoa, that is huge. All right, Jordan, I'll put you down for that. So decrease in prize pool. Somebody else said decrease in prize pool. Decrease in prize pool due to age limit. Okay, cool. There you go. Max Ninja, the prize pool now is $20,000 per regional. Over the course of the season, $180,000. So Drew reckons same prize pool, but how many majors? Do we get one or how many major spots do we get, Drew? Max reckons 25K per regional. All right, Velocity is convinced. Okay, Drew reckons 1 major spot. All right, chaps. I think those are some good predictions. Hopefully we get an announcement, chop, and then I can fire up the stream and we can go through it. Lo-Fi also reckons 1 major spot. New maps for the games. Oh, I can guarantee that. They're going to reskin something and we'll get new maps. All right, well, hopefully it's all up from here, guys, but we'll know when the announcement comes. We might get a new car. Oh, don't know. That's very bold, Drew. I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself there. Easy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up there. I will see you next Wednesday, the 25th, for my assessment with Beastbound. We're going to do it live on stream. And then my 1-year challenge will start on the 6th of January. Ashy Pager, you say that. I do have to say that they added grass to Wasteland and Farmstead. And I have to say, I really like those 2 maps. So yes, it was a low effort, but I really do like them. Wednesday, the 27th, Jordan. The 25th is Christmas Day, and that's on Monday. Breezy, we did do the own series wrap. That was the first part of the podcast. Did I keep saying the 25th? I meant the 27th. The new Manfield is also very power. I do like that, Jordan. I don't like touching grass. Fair enough, Lo-Fi. All right, ladies and gents. I am going to wrap it up there. I will see you on the 27th next Wednesday, and we'll see if I can get better at Rocket League. But until then, peace. See you then. Bye.